belief grows.
Garage doors can be expensive. Are you keeping yours in the best condition possible? This is Cameron Hall with Doors Plus. Doors Plus is a locally owned business that prides itself on the fast, reliable, and friendly service. Doors Plus offers flexible scheduling so you can book an appointment that fits your busy day. My team and I will come out to your property, both commercial and residential, and provide you with the necessary information you need to make sure your garage door is in working and smooth condition. Give Doors Plus a call today at 402-590-5800 to book an appointment and learn more about our preventative maintenance plans. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round. And their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is the Don't Punt Hour with former Nebraska receiver.
Throwing over the middle, completes the pass. He's got speed to the end zone. Touchdown. 45 yards.
And return specialist.
This time he beats the kicker and one more.
DeMornay Pierson-El.
Not only does the sideline have confidence in Pierson-El, but Pierson-El has confidence in Pierson-El.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back into Ticket Weeknights. This is the Don't Punt Hour. We got the host, as always, DeMornay Pierson-El, streaming in on the Allo VIP line where they understand the importance of exceptional service with a local heart. So again, shout out to Allo VIP for giving us a consistent phone line connection when we need it. But DeMornay Pierson-El, plenty of things to talk about in the sports world. Probably one of the best nights of basketball when it comes to back-to-back playoff finishes I've seen. I scared my dogs last night with just how excited I was getting. But how's it going on this beautiful Tuesday night, man?
It's going good. Got good basketball coming up and whatnot. So, I'm very excited. It's a nice night.
Yeah, and we got more great games today. And again, for all you listening out there on the airwaves, we are going to have the Supernovas start up 8 o'clock sharp right after this show. So we'll be back with the Supernovas. They got the San Diego Mojo. Supernovas coming in this one 12-6 with a strong record. So we'll have some good content going all night long. And again, that's 8 o'clock pregame, 9 o'clock actual start. So should be a late one, but it's worth it because the Supernovas have been nothing short of exceptional this season. They've had a great product, and shout out to the fans in Omaha and just around the area as well. People from Lincoln coming down there. They sell that place out. So I can't stress enough. If you haven't been to an Omaha Supernovas game, you got to go check it out. It is an awesome atmosphere. DeMornay, have you had a chance yet? I know you're a busy schedule with the kids, taking them to gymnastics, whatever it may be. You got your own radio show at night too. Have you had the opportunity yet to make it down to a game?
No, I haven't. It's on my list to go.
Yeah, as it should be. Definitely got to go down there sometime. And for all you listening, it is packed, and they get some good celebrities to show up down there every now and then too. So it's not like you're going to show up and it's just going to be, the city of Omaha. You might get a couple celebrities in there as well. So it's always a good time. I highly recommend checking it out. But DeMornay, we're going to talk about Husker football, but we just had Walk On Weekly. We had Sam Hoiberg, Jeff Grace III, and then Jack Hoiberg, his brother as well, who actually works with the San Antonio Spurs. So I still got a little bit of NBA on my mind, and I just want to get your opinion first on the 76ers Knicks games, and then, of course, the Lakers Nuggets game. Well, let's start with the 76ers and the Knicks. Just an awesome comeback by the Knicks. Maybe you could have called a foul there. I love it when they just kind of let them play like that. But do the 76ers have a chance of swinging this thing around because they get to go back home in what is a tumultuous environment down in Philadelphia?
I don't know. The Knicks surprised me. They're looking and I understand, what happened with the last little bit of situation or whatever, that last little rain. But the Knicks look like a more dominant, more well-oiled team. Again, Embiid can't do it all himself. And honestly, that was just, on display heavily.
Mm-hmm.
I think the 76ers are just going to struggle. If they do make it out of this round, I think they're struggling. They won't make it far. But the Knicks, they executed. They fought through things and whatnot. That's a sneaky team that you might not want to see. And I know we talked about this before, that with them being in New York and not getting a lot of coverage, but to be on that scale and have that type of game, showing the first game out, New York fans should be very excited. And the Eastern Conference should be on high alert on the Knicks.
Yeah, and shout out Coach Tibbs as well. I think he's an underrated coach. I've always liked him. When he was with the Chicago Bulls, I know the seasons weren't great, but as one of those is like, look at the talent he has to win with. You're not doing this guy any favors with the Knicks. It kind of, to me, proves he's always been a good coach, and that the rosters around him, the trust and upper management hasn't always necessarily been working with him the way they should have, because this, to me, is pretty clear. This guy still knows how to coach and really unite a team. You look at a guy like Brunson and Josh Hart, even DiVincenzo with a big shot last night. That team just plays hard. They beat the Philadelphia 76ers in the rebounding total. If you're the 76ers, you just absolutely cannot have that. You're beating that team in size. That's one area you got to dominate. And with Joel Embiid, he just doesn't look fully healthy. And that's the part that worries me if I'm a 76er fan. And Jack Hoiberg mentioned on the previous show, and I couldn't agree more, you're going to need that guy to be 100% healthy if you're going to find a way to win this one. And he's just not. He looks tired. He looks at time a little gimpy. It's just not a fully healthy Embiid out there. And this is the Knicks without Julius Randle as well. So it's another factor that you think would help swing it the 76ers way. I just don't know if they're going to have enough in the tank. They're going to have to steal one, maybe even both of those at home if they're going to try to flip this series. But shout out to the Knicks. They're finally putting the East on notice after being one of the biggest market teams in forever. They finally got some wins and some playoff success behind it. Knock on wood, it's only round one. If they get knocked out here, people won't be talking about them as much. But a great start for the Knicks. And then Jalen Brunson definitely creating his own storyline and narrative here as one of the dominant guards. Now let's talk about the Lakers in Denver Nuggets. Where do you want to start with that game? It was a 20-point comeback by the Denver Nuggets. Lakers, I thought, once again, looked pretty tired in that second half, and that's what really sparked a lot of that momentum for the Nuggets. Lakers start short-arming some shots. Here comes the Denver Nuggets, and, of course, Jokic being consistent as always. What stuck out to you in that game and the massive comeback by the Denver Nuggets?
That one just hurt because I feel like those are two games that easily, that the Lakers could have won. They at least should have won one of them.
Oh, 100%.
And that hurts the pride. That hurts your soul. That's, the straw that breaks the camel back. It's just like, you can't, like, what else do you have to do? Like, it's the second half that came out. They were a completely different team. I don't know if they were tired. I don't know, if things just changed out or it took them a little minute to get, warmed up. But, you see that you can play, with them. You've seen that you can, compete at a high level. You just have to do it for a whole game. And I get that you're in Denver. Maybe it might be different, going back to, LA and everything like that. But, you're up on, the defending NBA champs 2 games by a dominant lead, and you blow both of them. I don't know if that's coaching or if that's players.
I think it's just Jokic and the Denver Nuggets. And I'm a big believer on that altitude, too. I think that's 2 games in a row where we see the Lakers gasping for air in that second half. And it's like, yes, the Nuggets look tired, too, but just not to the same extent as the Lakers. And you're looking at LeBron, as old as he is, getting close to 40. That's just a lot to demand from him to be that player. And I know people are upset with the last shot. He did drain 2 massive ones to even put you in that position. But then, of course, here comes the Denver Nuggets. Michael Porter Jr. hits a ridiculous shot on what should have been, or I shouldn't say should have looked like it was about to be a massive turnover by Jokic trying to draw the foul. Somehow bounces around. Gordon gets hold of it, kicks it out. Michael Porter Jr. huge three, and then that's kind of where it swings right there. LeBron, push off or not, I honestly don't think it was. I think it was a flop attempt by KCP, but he bricks that one, and that's game. And that's just with Jamal Murray just kind of been the kryptonite late game stretches for the Lakers. I don't see it happening. Maybe not a sweep. Maybe they can steal one when they get back home. But the Denver Nuggets and how efficient they are, the conditioning, I think, matters at home. And even when they're on the road, like I think Jokic honestly has had a massive benefit of playing in Denver. Because earlier on, especially it was that play-in tournament, people really started to look at Jokic like, man, this guy doesn't get tired. He's bringing the ball up consistently, playing 35 minutes plus a game, really controlling most of the ball, like for a large portions of the game, and he still has more energy than most of the guys out there. I think there's Denver could not have been a better spot for Jokic to land, and the trust around him and how they built around him has only accentuated his play. Do the Lakers almost have to blow this thing up if it doesn't work out for them this season?
I think that's what things, point towards. I don't know if by blowing it up, I don't know if you fire that coach.
Darvin Ham? Yeah, so, I don't know.
Like that's just, I've been, on the unimpressed side. I thought, things would be a lot differently. And I'm not, putting it all on him because, you're also, handling LeBron. I haven't seen too many coaches, that he's worked well with. I'm not saying that, that LeBron's the problem. But after this, I think, you go with, maybe some drafting or, some free agency guys that want to come there and play on that. But even some of those guys that, might be that you might be aiming for, that they might not want to do that with LeBron. So it's, you in LA, taxes are crazy. You're in the highest tax bracket. California is one of the highest tax states. Players look at that. So, it's not just, maybe not playing with LeBron or maybe not, competing for a championship or whatnot. Maybe, that's a lot more money that's coming out of my pocket to go and play with you versus, going somewhere else where taxes aren't terribly, as bad as it is. So it's, if this series doesn't go to game 6, game 7, I will be concerned for the Lakers. If it's done in 5, a lot of people are leaving.
Yep. I don't know who it's going to be. I think D'Angelo Russell's tough because he played a massive role and gave the Lakers a massive chance, especially after what was a disappointing performance in game 1, turning around game 2, but they still fall short. It's also just a tough draw. And I know people are going to really hate on Darvin Ham, blaming him. Why isn't he calling timeouts, X, Y, and Z? They're playing the Denver Nuggets, and I can't get over how good that team is. Now, you could argue on the East, maybe you like the Celtics more, maybe even like the Clippers in the West, but the Nuggets are just such a brutal draw. LeBron, for the first time ever, has lost 6 straight playoff games. All 6 are the Denver Nuggets. It's just a tough matchup because as good as Anthony Davis has been, there's not a guy that can stop Jokic, and I will die on that hill until I see someone consistently be able to do it because Jokic started out slow, cooled off, and then here he comes late in the game, just taking over at will, just dominant. I will ask you this, though. If we rewind to the play-in tournament, because since we're talking about Darvin Ham, you look at that 2019-20 season, NBA champions, 52-19 record. Frank Vogel was the head coach, and their record was 52-19 while he was the head coach of that team, and they go ahead and win it. Now, the next 2 seasons is what gets him canned. 42-30, 33-49. Part of that, LeBron and AD, you remember some of those years, those guys got hurt, and there wasn't enough depth around them. But I almost feel like they still should have held on to him. And just as opposed to think it's on Frank Vogel, it's been the roster construction to me that has led this team down the wrong path. You get rid of Alex Caruso. You get rid of KCP. I know they regret getting rid of KCP because he dominated them for 2 games in a row now. Or I shouldn't say dominated, but it had some key moments in swinging those games. Do you feel like they might have moved on a little too quick from Frank Vogel, or is that just hindsight being 2020?
That's a little bit hard to say. It's definitely something to think about, with those players being hurt. You see the Bucks are dealing with the same thing since they fired, their coach that got them to win the championship. They've been through two coaches since.
Yep.
So I understand, it's a business and whatnot, but you might want to be a little bit more patient and kind of see what things. I mean, he had the right team, he had the right players and whatnot. It's just, two of your best players are hurt. Arguably two of the best guys at their position aren't on the court and available. So yeah, that's going to change things drastically. But the Lakers organization is the Lakers organization. They expect dominance and excellence and whatnot. So you got, the lineage of that. You have a short period of time to, put things together and do things and whatnot. So, I feel like that was more so the Lakers' fault and not, some of the players. He had the right people there and whatnot. He was building teams and whatnot. You got rid of him after 3 years. Like and 2 of those years, you don't have, arguably the best player, in the game right now, period.
Mm-hmm.
So it's tough to say, and I'm not trying to, make excuses for them. If the Lakers don't get, the Nuggets in the first round, I believe they go to the between them or the Clippers will go to the Western Finals. They just have the harder road, and they just got dealt them first. I think they're a good team. I don't think the coach is doing anything terribly, but it's just something missing with the team. Like, is it too much inconsistencies and stuff? When your superstars aren't out there, your team kind of gels a little bit better. But when they're out there, they kind of drop the slack. So it's a lot going on.
Yeah, just, you mentioned it. Like, you win a championship 2 years later, you're looking for another job. And now he's coaching the Phoenix Suns. And I've been against that team. I don't like their construction at all, but I actually still think he's done a pretty good job coaching that team to even get them in the position they're in now. I know it's not great. And if you're a Suns fan, with Bradley Beal, Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, you might still be expecting more. But this is about kind of right where I had them, just because I was always concerned about the defense. And sure enough, that's been the problem for them. But you get rid of a guy, and your excuse is, well, he doesn't know how to win. He just got you a ring a couple of seasons ago, and they're so quick to forget. You give it to these great time coaches and Eric Spoelstra, but it's like, can you imagine if they just fire Spoelstra if he has 2 seasons where maybe the roster construction isn't great and they just put it all on the head coach? To me, that's just insanity. So I always just thought that was a big mistake, especially with the hires they were bringing in. I'm like, if you're going to do it, you need to have a coach in place that makes a lot of sense, that you trust, who has the resume behind it. And what they've been doing just hasn't made a ton of sense for me. I can even kind of relate it to some of the Husker football days on coaches we fired and coaches we brought in. I won't say his name, but there's one guy in particular who had a sub 500 record, or just right at 500. Made 0 sense for a guy who was winning 8-9 games a season. I knew you'd agree with that one. Just always kind of blows my mind. If you're going to do it, it needs to be an upgrade, and it needs to have a solid resume track record for the move to make sense. But let's go ahead and get off basketball, because really those 2 games right there are just incredible. We'll have some more games tonight, but let's talk about Husker spring football. We're only a few days away. April 27th, we're going to have spring football. And Demore Pierson-El, you said you're going to be down there, correct?
We'll see. I'm not too sure. It depends. I'm waiting on a few old teammates to see, who's going to be in town. If they are, if they're not, I might be at the game, I might not. But it's still on the table. More than likely, I will be. I'll see.
Well, if you do, swing by the station. We'll give you a media pass. It always helps us get some coverage out there. But with that being said, what are you looking forward to, whether you're there in the stadium or watching it on TV? What are those key things that just your everyday fan, if they really want to gain some insight on Husker football, the spring game is an end-all, be-all. What are some key things you can actually pick up that are meaningful in a spring game?
Depending if it's offense or defense. For the offense, I would say look at the responses of the quarterback. If they look, panicky or frustrated, upset, look how the coaches is responding to the quarterback. Are they panicking? Are they, yelling or frustrated about certain things and everything like that? With 2, young quarterbacks coming in early and whatnot, the more practice for them, the better. So how the quarterback and how the coach, how they operate and, how they go along things. There's battles going on both sides of the ball. I'm looking for improvement on how the offensive line is moving, how are they gelling together? Are they communicating? How is that, front going on? I don't know how much, the starting defense necessarily will be out there. Typically, your defense will be, looking a little bit, more put together than your offense, just because it takes, defense. It's easier for them. They're going to put certain things in and just stick with that. I'm looking for the new faces. The guys that, that they brought in from the running back, the receivers and everything like that. I'm looking to see how, those guys battle it out and how they look. For receiver wise, I'm looking to see who took the next step, to take the next step off of, how last year was, to continue that, who looks like who they're going to be the guy going forward. On defense, are they communicating? Are they in the right position? They're your teammates, so I don't think you'll see, kill shots or anything like that. But, Jim just, being at the right place at the right time. They're going to call a very basic and bland game. So don't expect, a lot of blitzes and a lot of nuances and X, Y, and Z of stuff that you've been accustomed to. Because, this is kind of the first time where, some of the other teams in the conference can kind of expect and look to pick up on things and look what you might try to do. So it's going to be, basic and boring on both sides, but, who just competes, who shines, who's consistent, I think are some of the things that you can look for.
And then when it comes to the player's perspective, for you and your own personal experiences playing in that spring game, how valuable really is that for a player? Does it do a good job kind of putting in that real game time noise, that real game time speed?
It matters, but then again, it doesn't matter because, the battles and everything like that is won at practice. As I said before, maybe, your first 25, 35 plays are really, hard or your ones and twos are really, going in, or they might try and see some things and call some things. After that, the guys that you feel comfortable with, who is set for your ones and your twos, they'll pretty much, taper back on that and just kind of rotate everybody in. It's good for the quarterback situation with giving them more reps, with making sure, they understand stuff just to get them, going through things and kind of, get them kind of callous to exactly, preparation process and procedure and just getting them more comfortable and confident. So it's good in that aspect for, if you don't have many guys that have gotten reps or, young guys coming in and everything like that, just to kind of break the ice. So it's important, but it's not as important as the practices have been.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm always just curious because, again, it's like it feels like a good atmosphere. And I'm always kind of like, is this more for the fans? Is this more for the players? Or is it just a good balance between them both? But let's talk about position groups. What position group are you really excited to see, even if it's just a few plays or even key players that you want to see, whether a play that makes you step back and say, wow, or just a position group as a whole that you're looking for a jump and improvement?
The running backs. The running back room was pretty much depleted. They went out and, got some guys and everything like that. So I'm very, anxious to see, how that looks. Without a good running game, you're not going to have a passing game. So, part B also is how the offensive line is dominating against, a top defense, regardless if it's the ones or the twos. How have they communicated, better? How have they gotten, how have they gelled and everything like that? So those are the two positions that, that I'm going to be interested in and looking at.
Yeah, I'm looking for receivers. I'm going to do that. I want to see a young player or even a guy like Jamal Banks. I want to see a receiver go out there and make a tough catch, a catch that really says, just wows me a little bit. We've got the speed, but I want to see a good 50-50 ball. I want to see a receiver with some strength that really knows how to explode off the line, that doesn't get held up by whoever's out there on the DB or corner position. I want to see some explosive plays from that wide receiver position because we got quarterbacks in here. Yes, they're young, but I think if this offense is going to make a quote-unquote seismic shift, it's got to start with better wide receiver play. Guys got to be getting open. I don't want to see Dylan Raiola, Kalen Harburg, whoever's out there, be dancing around trying to figure out who's open. And I know we were hard on the quarterbacks last year, rightfully so. Some of the turnover things felt very self-inflicted, but there's also times where I felt like the fan base was really getting at a quarterback, and I'm like, I didn't see anybody open either. I might have also taken that sack or at least try to throw it out of bounds. So I want to see some wide receivers with how much athleticism there is with that position group. I just want to see you guys get open. And to me, that's really going to stick out. And obviously, quarterbacks are a given. What do these young quarterbacks look like? How well are they reading the offense? How quick are they getting rid of the ball? Or are they holding on to it a little bit too long, taking unnecessary sacks? Because that was a big problem of last year. With that being said, we'll go ahead and throw it to break here. We got Good Morning Pierson-El on the Allo VIP line. This is the Dumb Punt Hour. Harrison Arndt on the ones and twos. And as always, if you guys want to join in on the show, Starter Heyman text line 402-464-5685. And I'll ask you guys this. What is the one thing that you're looking forward to that's going to give you a lot of hope in this program next year? Whether that's a player, position group, defense, what are you looking for in this spring game to give you some positive hope? But we'll throw it to break here. Don't go anywhere. We got 2 more segments on the other side. And then again, Supernova's pregame at 8 o'clock. We'll talk to you guys in a little bit.
Hi, it's Charlie Stone back with the latest update from Andy Goodyear of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, your new car selection keeps getting better and better every month. Can you tell our listeners all about it?
It sure is, Charlie. It's great that our customers can come in, pick out a new Honda, and drive away with it that day.
How many new Hondas do you have in stock?
Well, right now we have just about 100 in stock.
Hey, I hear you've won some very important awards in your service department. Tell us about them.
Well, the first one is we won the award for the first fixed award. So the cars are actually fixed on the very first time they're brought in. Second award is our Customer Service Experience Award. And then our third award is our Honda Express Service Elite. And we rank the best in quality and customer satisfaction.
Maybe it's time you come experience the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Hey, Husker Nation, Matt Davison here with 1890. It's an exciting time to be a Husker fan, and to keep that momentum going, we need your help. Nebraska has always been a leader in college athletics, and we're doing the same through name, image, and likeness. NIL is a unique opportunity for every Husker fan to have a direct impact on the success of our programs. Through 1890, 100% of your contribution goes to the student athletes. So go to 1890nebraska.com, choose your sport, become a member, and help the Huskers recruit and retain the best. Go Big Red.
Gainett Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gainett Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gainett Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gainett Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainettTrucking.com.
Garage doors can be expensive. Are you keeping yours in the best condition possible? This is Cameron Hall with Doors Plus. Doors Plus is a locally owned business that prides itself on the fast, reliable, and friendly service. Doors Plus offers flexible scheduling so you can book an appointment that fits your busy day. My team and I will come out to your property, both commercial and residential, and provide you with the necessary information you need to make sure your garage door is in working and smooth condition. Give Doors Plus a call today at 402-590-5800 to book an appointment and learn more about our preventative maintenance plans. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
Sandhills Global is hiring. With their fast-paced, growing culture, they have hundreds of new openings in sales, marketing, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Full-time roles offer a 4.5-day work week, along with flexible internships in most areas. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Find your fit today at www.sandhills.jobs.
What do you think of when you hear the chocolate season? Artisan chocolates? Of course, they have the best chocolates this side of the Atlantic. Friendly neighborhood coffee shop? Yup, they're that too. A nationally recognized top-tier brunch spot. Waffle weekends, baby. And the place to grab a gift for literally any occasion? Everybody loves chocolate. See for yourself at the Chocolate Season, 40th and Old Cheney, or order ahead online at thechocolateseason.com.
Road construction is complete, so there's nothing keeping you from getting into Mullen Motors. They can get you into a new vehicle right now and get your 2024 started off the right way. They cleared off their 2023 inventory and have tons of new vehicles to choose from to make sure you get to where you need to be this year. Out with the old and in with the new. Stop by Mullen Motors today, just north of 48th and Layton in Lincoln.
No tagline, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
The Mill Coffee and Tea, formerly with only 4 Lincoln locations. Guess what?
What?
There's 5 Lincoln locations now. Oh my gosh. That's 25% more Lincoln locations than there used to be. Can you even imagine a world where there's only 4 Lincoln Mill locations? Feels like ages ago. We were all so young then. The Mill on 11th, located right alongside 93.7 The Ticket Studios, 1040 O Street.
You never think cancer will happen to you. I smoked for over 40 years. My doctor recommended that I get annual lung cancer screening. They were able to catch my cancer at stage 1. It's never too late to quit. Even if you're still smoking, you need to ask your doctor about annual lung cancer screening. Just 30 minutes a year could save your life.
Call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
This is the Don't Punt Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, DeMornay Pierson-El.
All right, welcome back in to the Don't Punt Hour. Once again, Harrison Arns on the 1s and 2s, going here with DeMornay Pierson-El until we get to that Supernovas pregame starting at 8 o'clock. We talked a little bit about spring game. And DeMornay Pierson-El, to go ahead and continue this conversation, let's talk about the quarterbacks before we move on to some Husker baseball. When it comes to Dylan Raiola and Daniel Kalen, and then we'll talk about Harburg last, what are you looking for in those guys' games, especially early on, freshmen? Shout out to them. They both got here early. I think that's very important, especially just considering kind of the state of the quarterback room. If we want to be good early, I know we got a quote-unquote easy matchup against UTEP game 1, but I want to see some progress quickly, so getting here early mattered a lot. What are you looking for in terms of the young QBs first to really pick up on?
Them taking control and being in command. So when they're in there, their confidence with, staying to play, getting to play out, keeping the offense on time. Not having to, I know it's going to happen, burning a timeout or anything like that, but how efficient they are commanding of, getting the play in, getting the play out to everybody and lining up and getting things started. I think that is a key sign for them. When they are throwing, the ball and whatnot, accurate throws, good throws, making a decision and sticking with it. Sometimes, you might improvise and might have to move out of the pocket and do some things. That's perfectly fine. If things aren't going well, how are they responding? So if, people are dropping the ball or, people are frustrating or jawing or something about the thing and everything like that, how are they, operating when things aren't going as well and everything like that? Are they confident, with what they're seeing out there? Are they confident with, throwing, taking a 3-step drop and throwing a 10-yard out on the backside without, really, checking over there and making sure whatever, if that's what the call is, stepping into their throws and whatnot and everything. And just seeing, their personality, come out. Are they confident in themselves? Are they confident? Are they comfortable? Is their feet work good and everything like that? Are they going through their possessions and everything like that? In certain situations, if it's 2 minutes or, if it's before the half and they make a big play or something, goes down, if a catch is close to being, maybe it was caught, maybe it wasn't caught, are they smart enough to just get everybody up there, just get a play snap before, the officials can stop it? Because that's all the spring game is. It's going to be, simulated situations with game stuff. So them understanding what's going on and what to do next, I think, will be a big piece on what to watch out for.
And what about a guy like Harburg? Because this is a guy where I know the excitement is obviously around the young quarterbacks, but there is a real world where it's an open competition, right? Whether he starts or even second string QB or third, we've burned through quarterbacks here with injuries. Well, what do you want to see in Harburg's game that if he is out there on the field, whether even if he's coming in as a replacement, if someone gets hurt or knock on wood just even has a bad game, what do you want to see in Harburg's development coming into this year?
Him being, a better passer. This is, he got thrown into the position, so I'm not really, putting out on him for what he did with stepping in and everything like that. It was tremendous. I'm not hard on him because it's like you got tossed in that position. So with him just taking, the next step, taking the next step in his game to going on to the next level. So, being in command of things and whatnot, being more accurate. This year, they got extra help in there, so he's gonna be better at they're gonna be better at identifying what he does better and sticking to that. So executing those type of plays way better. And this is something he's been practicing on throughout the whole off season and everything like that. So I would assume he would be a more accurate passer. He would be more comfortable throwing the ball and everything like that. So that's what I expect out of him.
Yeah, and he's been open about that too, really trying to fix the throwing mechanics. He's aware of it. And one thing you hear from the coaching staff often is how hard he works at it. And it helps a lot to get an actual QB coach in there that can really focus on those three things. How important is that for you? Because I know we were high on it earlier when it was first announced, but to have Thomas back there as the QB coach, how advantageous is this for Nebraska, and was it an absolute need if we're going to see this progress in the offense this season?
I think it was a need. Not to say that, Satterfield wasn't, doing anything or, wasn't doing his job or whatnot. But, he thought, he had a guy with Sims. His evaluation, it was what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Not going to spend too much time on that, but, you got two young guys coming in who you can shape them to be, what you need them to be. And he recognized, if somebody's better for the job, he let that go and everything like that. So, that's admirable for him to do that and whatnot. But it's crucial. Your position coaches is like a second father to those kids. You're with them, all the time and everything like that. And if there's somebody better that can do that and take, us as a team to get to the next level, he's absolutely for that. So, that's why, the situation happened. The situation that happened. So it's definitely important for, you got two freshmen. One of them or both of them might play. We don't know. Mm-hmm. But, they're going to be tossed into the fire. So, getting what's best for them was point blank period, what was important. And that's what, Rule and the staff did what's important and what's best for the team.
Yeah, I think you nailed it right there. You got two young quarterbacks in there, two Elite 11 QBs, and not even Elite 11. Kalen finished higher than 11th position. So two top 10 QBs, really. You got them young. You want to make sure you develop them right and give them a reason to stick around. You want them to trust that development. And I think having a guy there that can be around those guys and purely focus on those guys' development, we've seen it in this NIL era. Money's always going to play a factor, whether you love it or hate it. That's just the reality of college football. But also that trust in having a guy in place that you can go to for development and to have, great quarterbacks in there. You don't want to hand them, Satterfield, again, I'm not going to say it's his problem, but you don't want to spread him out too thin, especially when you got quarterbacks that you really want to develop. Because, again, you have guys that are quote-unquote elite. You want to continue to develop them, and as much resources that you can allocate to that, that's high on the list for me. Because if you really want to change this program around, we've seen it over and over and over again, you need a good quarterback. Maybe you can go bowling, maybe you can be in a decent bowl game, but unless you're Michigan and you can run the ball at will, but even J.J. McCarthy wasn't asked to do a lot, but he did it consistently and delivered. But you look at the other teams, you need great quarterback play. So I think it was a smart source of, allocating on the coaching staff. Get guys that you trust to develop these young QBs who got there early and just kind of build that rapport. Let them believe in the process and development. And I just think it's a big move and very important, not to take anything away from Satterfield, but it also gives him more time to focus on the tight ends and just the offensive play calling overall as well. So I thought it was a great move. We got a little bit of time here before our next break, but we got to talk about Nebraska baseball because things were looking a little shaky for them. They lost 6 out of their last 9, but they were able to kind of pick things up down the stretch here. Their last games, Maryland was kind of a whirlwind of emotions. They hosted them down here at Haymarket Park. First game, they win it 6-3. Next game, 11-2 loss. You're feeling really rough about that one. But I also think that was the day, or at least the second day, where they allowed alcohol sales. So maybe you were able to kind of pick yourself up that way, but a tough loss nonetheless. But then the next day, they bounced back on April 21st with a huge win, 16-4, absolute dominant performance. And now they got a decent team in Kansas today. With this Nebraska baseball team, with their record sitting at a solid 25-12, doing well, plenty above 500 in the Big Ten, 8-4. I believe the last time they even made it to the College World Series would have been early in the 2000s, or at least to the NCAA tournament. Is this team got enough time left to pick things up and really put themselves in a good spot, not only for the NCAA tournament play, but a path to the College World Series?
I think so. They're a dominant team. They've been showing that, that they are, forced to be reckoned with. It's a long season. They've been practicing, spring practice and whatnot and everything like that. So, you'll have your runs to where, guys aren't just feeling it and whatnot and everything like that. But, they've shown that they can bounce back from things and whatnot. So, I'm not worried about them in any sort of chance at all.
A lot of optimism. So, yes, it was the last time Nebraska was able to make it to the College World Series. It would have been that 2002 series. And they led NU program 57 wins, another with Van Horn, who resigned in alma mater. But again, 2002 season. So it's been a while. Nebraska, now led by Will Bolt since 2020. I think this is a good opportunity for him. And I just think if this team can find a way to get down there, you're in Omaha, you'd have all the momentum in the world. How big would this be for Nebraska baseball, not only just for this season, but future recruiting as well, to finally kind of put your Big Ten program, because let's just be honest, if you're a Big Ten team, you're going to have to win some extra games if you're going to put yourself in a good position. It isn't the most respected baseball conference out there. How big would this be for Nebraska if they could find a way to shake things up and make a way down to Omaha for the College World Series, if they really take care of business down the stretch here and then when it gets to tournament play?
It'd be huge. They've won the Big Ten. They've went far and done things. This is the next step, and it'd be right in your backyard. So fan support. Nebraska shows up. From rifling to golf, it could have been throwing darts and let Nebraska have a team. The fans are going to show up. So, it's just the next step. It's just the next phase of things. So, if they get that, that's, a box you can check off. to where, you know, the recruits coming in and everything like that, or, you know, people that you're recruiting and whatnot, you can say, you know, we're you know, competing with this program and this and that. This is, you know, stuff that we've done and whatnot. So it's the next phase. It's the next phase that, you know, that they need to check off.
Absolutely. And correction, there's 2001 when they made that first College World Series appearance, and it was 1979 to make their first NCAA tournament. So again, 2001 to 2005, 3 College World Series appearances. It's in their past, but it's 2024 now. You got to get back to that level of excellence, and especially for recruits, if you want to put them on the big stage, this is a good opportunity. Good opportunity for Nebraska to take care of business. Not a ton of games left here on the remaining schedule. You still got Iowa on the plate, so feel good wins there if you can take care of it. But it's an exciting season. So if you haven't been paying attention to Nebraska baseball, you definitely need to do so, because this could have potential to be a very exciting end season for them. So again, we'll throw to our final break here. This is the Don't Punt Hour. We got Demorne Pierson-El on the Allo VIP line. Don't go anywhere. One more segment left on the other side.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
Hey, Husker Nation, Matt Davison here with 1890. It's an exciting time to be a Husker fan, and to keep that momentum going, we need your help. Nebraska has always been a leader in college athletics, and we're doing the same through name, image, and likeness. NIL is a unique opportunity for every Husker fan to have a direct impact on the success of our programs. Through 1890, 100% of your contribution goes to the student athletes. So go to 1890nebraska.com, choose your sport, become a member, and help the Huskers recruit and retain the best. Go Big Red.
One action, no matter how small, can have a world of impact on the life of a child. Cedars started because one couple believed that they could provide a child with a better life. And that belief grew into the Cedars that we know today, a powerful force for good that helps thousands of kids across Nebraska. Belief grows.
Are you looking to get into the electrical construction industry or wanting a new scene? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstorats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
Hey, baseball fans, join the Blur Tailgate at Hilton Omaha this June for our 12th annual hospitality event during the College Baseball Championship Series. Book an experience for your clients or employees with an inclusive bar, buffet, TVs, music, and tailgate games. Secure your spot today and let Blur Events take care of all the work so you can enjoy the day. Plus, we're just steps away from Charles Schwab Field. Visit blurevents.com to book your group, buy tickets, or learn about sponsorships. That's blurevents.com, your college baseball and football tailgate destination.
Your business runs like a well-oiled machine. It's important that your actual machines do too. Stern is here to make sure you don't have to worry about that. They provide solutions for heavy equipment and automotive fuels, lubricants, and equipment guard options. And with Stern's commitment to customer service for the past 40 years, you know you have a partner to help support your operations for years to come. Contact Roger at Stern Company by calling 1-800-477-2744 or visit them online at stern.co. Stern Company, where problems meet solvers.
NEPCO is hiring CDL drivers for ready-mixed concrete, Husker Concrete, and Beatrice Concrete. NEPCO offers great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they pay for CDL training. Apply today and start your new career with a $2,500 hiring bonus. From NEPCO's beginning in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com.
This is the Don't Punt Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, Demorne Pierson-El.
All right, welcome back in. The final segment of the Don't Punt Hour. We got Demorne Pierson-El on the Allo VIP line as always. Harris North on the 1s and 2s, and we are just about 10 minutes away from the Omaha Supernovas playing at the San Diego Mojo. We only got about a couple minutes here, so we'll keep it short and sweet. Demorne Pierson-El, I just got to get your NBA picks for tonight because the Mavericks, let's be honest, I think they're looking for their mojo in this one, their pride, whatever the hell you want to call it. It was a bad showing in that first game versus the Los Angeles Clippers. That is the late slate game tonight, 9 p.m. Central Time. Mavericks, Clippers, who you got?
Clippers.
What is the problem for the Mavericks then? Well, we got a little bit of time. What has been the problem to keep those guys from really doing much of anything in that first game? Shout out to Kyrie Irving, was pretty great in that performance, but everybody else, even Luka, great at times, inconsistent at others. What's the key for the Mavericks if they want to prevent a 2-0 lead?
I think, everybody just has to show up. I don't think everybody did. Everybody wasn't, consistent in that first game, and it got ugly fast. So I think tonight, will be a more competitive game. I still think, the Clippers. I think the Clippers are still too much for them to handle. And then, you got Ty Lue coaching and everything like that. So I think it's just that everything favors them.
Yeah, it's a tough matchup. I will say for the Dallas Mavericks, that's just a brutal matchup to get right off the bat. Luka, Kyrie, great players. But even Kawhi Leonard not being 100%, the Clippers did enough to give him some rest so that they could get him as much rest as possible. It was massive for the Mavericks to take advantage of that in game one, and they're unable to do so. So to have Kawhi Leonard just kind of hanging on the rafters at your availability, you can rest him as much as you want as long as you got that lead. Doesn't spell well for the Dallas Mavericks. The Clippers, should that be the dark horse for a possible Western Conference Finals appearance? Or I should say finals overall appearance.
Yes, I think so.
Who's do you think the best player on that team who's going to lead him to that? Because I will say, I've been really impressed by Paul George's play. And we got about 60 seconds. I want to hear your thoughts.
I don't know. I think the fact that he knows he doesn't have to do it all himself. James could, spark for a game or two. Then, Westbrook to spark for a game or two. So I think, it's at times, he may have to rest a little bit more on one side of the ball, or need it to be to where he has to go off and take control. He will. But you really don't know, because you have three superstars, four when, Kawhi comes back. So it pick your poison. Whoever's night it is, they're going to have, their night to go off, and good luck stopping them.
I'm right there with you. Unless we see a 40-point performance from either Luka or Kyrie, I think it's going to be a long journey. Maybe they're able to steal one, but I got Clippers on this one as well. Don't go anywhere. We got the Omaha Supernovas up next for the pregame show. Renee Saunders, Derek Pearson. Should be a good one as always. We'll talk to you guys in a little bit.
Your sprinklers are watering the street or flooding your backyard.